Hello, Brian. This is Miranda's mother leaving you a voicemail. I know you have no reason to listen to the rest of this, but you do. Trust me. In 5 days, there is going to be a custody hearing, I know, another one. But this one is important. This one's going to change the entire future of my daughter's life and your daughter's life. Because I'm going to be taking custody of Charlotte. I'm going to beat Miranda in court because she has gotten back with Joey. That's right. I'm confirming it to you. She's back with him. She loves him. She has a life with him, despite everyone's wishes, despite how much we've all supported her. And now she has my grandson around him and my granddaughter. So I'm calling you because you have now a choice to make. I don't know what your schedule's like. I don't know if you're really in the military or not. I don't know what that looks like for you. And I know 6 days is short notice, but you have the choice to either testify on my behalf, help me get my grandchildren away from that goon, or I won't be upset. You have a choice to testify with Miranda. I just want you to show your face, because I know the second that you do, there will be a huge fight between Miranda and Joey. And that's all I really need right now. So either side that you choose, feel free. I would love for you to testify on my behalf, though. So just some food for thought. I don't know if this is an active number for you. I got it from your family. I wish you all the best, and I apologize for all the grief I gave you being with my daughter, because in hindsight, you were a walk in a park compared to Joey. I sincerely apologize to you for doing that background check. Although I still don't trust you. Still, I guess I would prefer you over Joey, depending on the day. Take care now. On paper, you're trying to take custody of your grandchildren, and you're going against your daughter. But in reality, what this case focuses on, your ex-son-in-law. Our job here is to paint a picture that he's a danger to his child, that he's an unfit parent. And his association with your daughter, that's what we're focusing on. Because you're not going to win against your daughter. But if we can present that he's the danger, then that's how we'll win this case. Okay, you're the lawyer. I am going in whatever direction you want me to go, but just how do we go about all of that? You know, you said he's never laid a hand on the kids or anything like that, so we need to focus more on the emotional abuse aspect. Okay, if we can prove that he's affected your daughter mentally, then we can pass that down to the children as well. But that's not going to be the main point of the case. We have to present to the judge that he cannot take care of these kids, and when he is taking care of these kids, he's a danger to them. So we can't fixate on the abuse part. We can focus a little bit on the emotional abuse part, but got it, yeah. Because there's a lot of emotional abuse there, a lot of manipulation there. But if you're not putting a heavy focus on that, then what area do we move on to? Because there's plenty to work with him. I just need to know what it is that we're going to focus on to use against him. Well, we focus on neglect. Neglect is something that we can pinpoint on him very easily. You've told me numerous times where he's failed to pay child support, where he's just screwed up in general, taking care of the kids. That's got to be a main focal point there. That if these children are left in his care, then that's a danger. And if we can prove that Miranda is going to, obviously will leave these children with him, then that's where you come in. That's where you look like you're the better person for these children. Because it's all about what's best for the kids. At the end of the day, that's what the judge is looking for. There's plenty of neglect. There's plenty of below the bare minimum of what a father should be doing for their kids. Plenty of examples. I could give you examples for days. In addition to the neglect, what else? In addition to the neglect, we have to focus on the substance abuse part. That's, even if he's sober right now, it does not matter. All right, it doesn't matter what program he's in or anything like that. His recent behavior, him being in prison, it's very recent. So that's going to go against her. Okay, she's having her children around this man. He has a history of past addictions that's affected his money, that's affected his way to take care of these children. That's a big red flag. All right? Okay, yes, I figured. I think he still is sober right now. But I figured we would touch that area because according to his family and Miranda, the substance abuse part played a big part in his behaviors. No excuse, but yeah, he's a demon under that stuff. And we'll focus on the mental health aspect. He's obviously been diagnosed with things. We cannot make that a big focal point. We want to focus on the neglect and the substance abuse, wrap that all in together, and make that our big argument for him. And we will also, you can also point out things that your daughter has failed to provide for these children as well, although we're probably not going to find much there. But any documents that you have in terms of missed child support, police records, restraining orders, I will send you over everything, like a checklist of things that we need to get done. But I wanted to meet with you today so that you can get your mindset right and understand where we're going with this. Because you're the one that's going to be steering the ship, and you need to know the direction. It's not after your daughter, it's after him. Okay, that all sounds good. I just had one question though, because I know you said that we'd focus on emotional abuse, but I do think there is physical in the way that he dated this person thing named Melissa, and she laid a hand on Junior. She actually hit my grandson. Are you saying it was an ex-girlfriend who laid a hand on Junior? Yes, she was an ex-girlfriend, a very toxic ex-girlfriend. There was a lot of drama there. And my grandson was in grave danger. We can use it. It's tricky though because he wasn't with your daughter at the time. That was with another partner. So again, we can use that as a lack of judgment on his part. That works. Couple that in with everything else. But we really need to find areas where his temper has come into play. The school records where he showed up that day and flipped out. That's something we can definitely use because that's not a common occurrence. That's not something every parent does on the regular. That was quite a big scene that you told me about. So I know you have police records with that, you have school records with that. We need that. And I really do feel like if we can wrap this up nicely into a good solid case against him and prove that her judgment is lacking, okay? Because we have to prove that she's going to rely on this man, that she's trusting this man, that she's going to put these kids in his care. If we can prove that she's risking all of this, you know what I mean? Then we have a case. And I feel confident that you can be one of those grandparents, one of those statistics that gets full custody of your grandchildren. I really feel that way. And I have won so many cases where I've seen family members win custody cases. Granted, a lot of those cases are when the custodial parent has a drug problem or a situation like that. But this is definitely winnable. This is definitely, I think you should go into this with confidence. Well, with your help, I've never felt more confident going into something like this. This is wonderful. I thank you for your help. I am ready to fight this. More importantly, I am ready to win this. I am coming home with my grandchildren that day. Yo, baby. I have another reason why I don't really think that I should be testifying, if that's even a word. Going with you to family court, being on your behalf against your mom for this custody stuff. Joey, I already told you, I don't want you going into this with doubt. I don't want my mom to make you think that. No, but listen, really, because we've been through this. We've been through the custody stuff. We know what the judge looks for. And this happened to me twice now. One time before going to prison, and one time after now. I did try therapy. I really did. And they didn't diagnose me with the stuff that they did in the prison. I don't even know if the prison stuff was legit, because some people be telling me like it's not that quick to be diagnosed with bipolar and all that. You know what I mean? Anyway, the therapist before I went to prison, dropped me and said that I needed a higher level of care. So I was so messed up that even the therapist didn't want to deal with me. And then the prison hooked me up with a program and stuff, and I had a therapist with that, with the community service that I'm still doing and all that. And that therapist also told them like, yo, you need to put him to someone else because he needs a higher level of care. So it's just something like that I feel like they can use against me. That's terrible. I wish you would have spoken to me about that. I hope that therapists and people with white coats didn't make you think that you're less than, or that you're too troubled for their services. Like, that's ridiculous. But also, I don't think that, how's anyone gonna find that out, you know, in the courtroom? How is my mom gonna use that against you? I feel like, I don't know how it works. I don't know if prison system has like HIPAA laws or some whatever, patient client confidentiality, whatever. But I feel like with me, everything's on the table. They're gonna have everything on me. They're gonna use my mental stuff, my substance abuse, and the fact that therapists don't even want to deal with me. If you're the judge, are you really gonna like award me children? And I know it's you fighting for custody, but at the same time, like, I'm with you. They're not gonna you know, vote in favor of this. I think, like me, you've allowed people to train you into thinking that you're not worth something, or that you're not worth your kids, and that you have no value, or that you have no good qualities, this and that. But you can't listen to those people. You have to realize, like, everyone deserves redemption, everyone deserves chances, and remember, you were awarded supervised visits by a judge. There was a judge that believed that you deserved to be around your son. We can't go by that. We could supervised visits, like, I was lucky to get that. That's not a win. And I was awarded what? We started off with every week and then it was reduced to one. Nah, like, my record is terrible, Miranda. I'm gonna bring you down in this case. Okay, well, I'd hate to break it to you, but I believe that whether you're in the courtroom or not, whether your name's on the docket, whatever, they're still going to use you against me. My mom still just wants to prove a point to me, and she's still going to constantly bring you up whether you're even in the country or not. She's going to say that I'm with you, this and that. So there's no winning. That's why it's just best that you come with me. Yeah, you're right. They are going to use me regardless. So why don't we go into this pretending that we're not together anymore? I don't want to lie. I don't want to hide. Like, no. We can't have any custody agreement or court date surrounded by lies. I can't go into something like that. Okay, but if we don't pretend that we're not together, if you admit that you're with me, okay, under any circumstance, the Pope could come in and tell me I'm a great dude, or Abraham Lincoln himself could come back and say, like, this man should have kids. No matter what, you're with me, the judge is still gonna be like, the kid should not be with you because you're with him. Even if we pretend, I know people are gonna see through it. Hold on though, Joey, just wait. You're doing something that everyone does, and it's when you forget, like, everything that you've overcome and everything that you've, like, made progress on. And you've been sober now for I don't know how long. You've survived prison. You've been a great dad to Junior since coming back and everything, and you've changed the way I've seen you, and that means something. So don't forget the progress that you've made. Stop telling yourself that you're still that person. Because if I'm starting to believe that you're not, like, when are you going to believe it? I know how far I've come, and I know that I'm making strides. And I know deep down, no matter what anyone thinks about me, I know I've changed. I know it. But I just know that in court, they're just going to use everything against me. People use things against me all the time. That stuff with Melissa hitting Junior, I see comments about that to this day. And I'm not even with that woman anymore. You know what I mean? So Your mom, the judge, her lawyer, I don't know. No matter how much progress I make, I know that they're gonna look at that guy. And I'm warning you, Miranda. With Nanny Agatha on her side, you don't have a chance, babe. You're gonna lose your children. This is gonna be it. I just, even if you look at it, like, pretend we were in a movie. This is the act, I feel, where like, oh, she won, she beat him in custody, there's no way this chick's gonna lose. This is the one where you lose. I feel it. Sorry, Joey. I want you there. I want you to be there fighting with me. I want you to have custody of Junior. That's it. I know how you feel, but you have to get over it. I don't get it, Miranda. Even I don't get it, and I want you to be with me. I don't understand how you can stand there and just love me so much after everything that I've... You know, when I recite the things that I did in the past and I remember who I was, man, I don't belong in this house with you, baby. I don't. I don't deserve another chance. If I'm telling you right now, if I was the judge, I would freaking give both those children restraining orders, you know, miles away from me. I don't know why you love me. Even on paper, as jealous as I may be a lot of the times, that dude Brian, it's no one's relationship but ours, and what I want and what you want. And you may think that things you did were unforgivable, and at one point they were. But I get to decide whether or not I want to forgive you. And I think a lot of people don't believe in forgiveness anymore, but I still do. So the court date is what it is, and we're going into it the way I want to go into it. Alright, Miranda. I gave you a warning 5 days out. I'm not going to try again. You really want me to fight for custody with you. You really want me to have custody of Junior again. I want us to share custody. And I want my mom to understand that she does not have a say in who gets to raise my children. Thought that was a given, but I guess we need a judge to say it. I want things to feel normal. I want my son to have loving parents, and I want us to love each other. And again, I hope you don't make me regret that dream. I hope you don't make me look stupid in my forgiveness. Well, I'm telling you now, I am not, and I don't mean this like in a slight, I don't mean it in a negative way or to put her down. I am not taking custody of Charlotte. I don't want that to be part of it. I don't deserve that, and I don't want trouble with Brian. So we need to agree on that. Like, I will help you with Junior, but in the courtroom, you're to tell the judge, like, you want custody of both your children, but me, I only get custody of Junior. That's how I want the parameters to be. You having any form of custody over Charlotte was never on the table. Alright, I wanted to make sure that we should probably like start talking to lawyers and stuff, like for real. Agreed. I am more than happy with Mr. Zevia's services. He is a great lawyer, and I thank you for putting us in touch. Well, I'm glad you had a good experience with my lawyer. He's top in his field. Are you ready to sign the paperwork before this hearing so we can square everything away? I'm willing to sign whatever you would like me to sign. This working relationship we've had to teach my daughter a lesson about what's best for my grandchildren. It has been one of the best decisions that I have ever made. It's been very empowering. I know I don't mean to go into my personal life, but I was recently dating a man way younger than me, and it didn't work out, and it really hurt my self-esteem. It really made me feel less than. And you mix that with the way my daughter treats me and my other daughter, I was really low. But this whole process has given me my confidence back, so I'll sign whatever. Okay, so this form here, this contract here, if you win custody of Charlotte, you are waiving your right to get child support out of my nephew or ever pursue child support from him. Alrighty. Alright, this contract is the non-disclosure of Charlotte's location to Brian. Before I sign this one, You want me to win custody of Charlotte, but then you also want me to not disclose where I'm going to be keeping her. Yes, we want to make it difficult for Brian to find her. We don't want, like I told you, we want Charlotte to be erased from our family history. We don't want it coming out that he was with your daughter, that he had a child out of marriage. It's just a bad reflection on us. So the harder it is for him to find Charlotte, the better for us it is. Is that even legal? Because Brian does have rights to her. Well, we're hopefully working on the impression here that Brian abandoned Charlotte, and in a legal sense, he may not have rights to Charlotte anymore. He's been gone a while, he's not contacted anyone. And your daughter is the primary parent now of Charlotte, correct? Yes, she's the primary parent. Okay, so to simplify things here, she has full custody of Charlotte. You would be taking that full custody and becoming the primary parent. You get to do whatever you want with Charlotte at that point. You get to take her wherever you want, move wherever you want. And as the primary parent, you are no longer entitled to tell Brian anything about her life. Or at least, let's hope that that's how the custody agreement will be laid out. So that's why we want you to sign this contract, just as an extra precaution. An NDA, in a sense, that he never has to, that it's hard for him to find her. I don't know. I think I've made a mistake. Not with any of this stuff, but I remember our lawyer handing me the summons, and I didn't even read it. And I served it to Miranda. I'm pretty sure that Brian is to receive a summons because he still has rights to Charlotte. So, and I left him a voicemail asking him to testify on my behalf, but now that I think of it, he may be required to just testify on his own behalf. I think that's something you should look into, because under my understanding, he abandoned them. He doesn't have rights anymore, so he doesn't deserve a summons. He doesn't deserve to be asked to go to court and fight for custody of his own. And I can't see it being you versus Miranda versus Brian. This isn't wrestling. No, I texted Zevia just now, and he's talking about due process and yeah. So Brian is essentially required to show up at court. I should have known that if your daughter was trying to take custody of the kids, that they would alert him. And that's a mistake on my end. So what do you want to do here? Because now it's a three-way custody battle. We still sign these papers because you're still going to win, and you're going to take Charlotte back to New York. He's going to continue on in the military, and he's going to move on from his daughter, and he's going to meet a nice girl. He's going to marry her, and he's going to always just talk about how he had a baby out of wedlock with someone else and it was a mistake, and that we don't have to worry about that mistake because you have custody. So just sign the papers and let's stick to the plan. All right. Is there anything else that you want me to sign? This is the last form. This is your payment, your payout for waiving child support from Brian, okay? If you spend this money wisely, it will last you hopefully a lifetime. Sounds good. And you're right. No matter who's in the courtroom, no matter who's trying to win custody that day, I'm gonna win. Obviously, you do not receive a dime until you win.